Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studios of Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us. We appreciate that. We have something to show you. We're all in this COVID thing, and some friends of mine at Sewing for Angels have created over 10,000 masks. I made a donation and got some masks. Smoking Jim and I are wearing the Pittsburgh Sportsline mask against COVID. We're trying to flatten the curve right here in the studio. And my camera person, Caitlin, has one. Control room, Anthony has one. The talking machine felt a little generous tonight. Smoking Jim got one from me. And then I will be selling them for $10 to anybody that wants them. And if I get a dozen or so, I can order up more. So Smoking Jim bought the first one, and he got one free one. So I did give it to him because he asked me how much. I said, for you, my BFF, nothing. And look at how handsome he looks in that. And that white goes very nice with his black outfit. I had to bring that up. Look at that on TV. I can see it. Well, thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park and all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry, Wexford. I was actually out past Wexford, past Cranberry, all the way Evans City, right at the beginning of Zealy and Opal, where my daughter Casey and her cupcakes and her boyfriend Brian live. They invited us over for a social distancing dinner, and we had some great food to eat. Smoking Jim, we even had sweet potato and vegetable burgers.
What?
And they were delicious. We had kielbasa, we had regular Angus beef hamburgers, we had hot dogs, 3 different types of hot dogs, from beef to all kinds of things, potato salad, macaroni salad.
Any pork dogs?
1 pork dog. Yeah. What was for you? You never showed up like usual because we said, where's Batman? But he wasn't there. We had a great time. And I went to Eaton Park and I got my favorite pie, strawberry pie, and it was the hit of the party.
Wow.
But the storm coming home, the lightning and thunder in Butler or Zealy and Opal was terrible. And the ride home, man, it was a heavy rain all the way till we got to Bethel Park. It was sunny at 9 o'clock at night last night, just like it is in Monroeville every day, 24 hours a day, according to an honest man, Smoking Jim Frazier.
It's always bad in Butler.
In Butler?
Every day, bad.
I wasn't in Butler. Zealy and Opal.
Same thing.
Thank you, Smoking Jim. And thank you for all the likes on Facebook, 6879. We appreciate all those likes on my page. And I haven't been posting up these shows too much because a lot of you are watching it on TV. So we do appreciate you, and we hope you're all safe and you're healthy and doing well during this crazy times. And I have a few promos that I got to do, and Caitlin right here is waiting in eager anticipation. Watch her line this shot up. Look at that, centered in everything. 412-831-1900. That's Olive Oil's Pizzeria at Hillcrest Shopping Center. Frank says they're still open. Get some of their great Italian food, pizza, spaghetti, antipasta, you name it. Great hoagies, great food there. So check it out. Next up, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. Watch Caitlin adjust the camera and see what we get. Perfect. Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation was started in honor of Joey, who died at 9 years old. It's now been 6 years since he died. You can go to their Facebook page and website, Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. They've raised over $100,000 to try to find a cure for the dreaded brain cancer, DIPG, that killed Joey. And they've been doing great things, getting that over $100,000 to their doctors to see if they can find a cure. So far, no cure, but they keep raising money. So check it out. Next up, another nonprofit. Look at that pic. The Bethel Park Historical Society Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road, just a few minutes away from here. And it's a great location. They have businesses there. They have a library of old books. They have high school yearbooks there from almost every year, starting with Bethel Park when they were founded. It's a 1905 schoolhouse, was one of the first in Bethel Park. They've restored it, new roof, $150,000, 50 plus windows, all brand new. It's just a great place. They have my favorite green tea place, which is a coffee place, Reginald's Coffee. It's named after their dog. It's a cute dog. Sometimes he's around. You can sit outside in the lawn. They got Wi-Fi. Me and Smoking Jim got to go up there. I'll buy him a coffee and I'll drink my green tea. We'll have to do that someday when it's not 90 plus degrees, so when it gets a little cooler. So next up, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. What do you think of that picture? That's my face on Uncle Sam. Tell them Uncle Al Levine, the talking machine, sent you. 412-831-3304. Tell Dave Cable that I want you for BPTV. You can be like Caitlin, our latest volunteer here. She's with Anthony, who's been doing well. Look at how he has us set up with all our segments and everything. We appreciate what they do, and thanks again. One more, another nonprofit. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you, from $100 to $5,000 for your group that's doing great things in the Bethel Park community. We've now given out, or will be, $1 million with the final $25,000 going to the library. They just applied for it, and we will approve it when we meet. So they're now at $1 million donations to the community in 25 years. What a group it is. I'm a trustee on the board. You bring up something good, I'll vote for you if you say you saw it on Pittsburgh Sportsline. Next up, this is where I test our camera person. She's done well each week that she's been here. I'm going to try to do my best and hold this up. Look at that. Skeets Service Station, owned by Skeets Lewandowski. They work on anything and everything that runs on gas. You can see the address, 6103 Route 88. Red, white, and blue station. You can't miss it. It's past Trax Farm. It's past the Dairy Queen. Then it's right down the street on the right-hand side of the road heading out towards Finleyville. So you can see it there. They do everything on cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, weed whackers, lawnmowers, you name it, anything that runs on gas. They even do work on electric products that you use in the yard, weed whackers, hedge trimmers, etc. Even electric mowers, they can work on it. So check it out. Give them a call, 724-348-4715. Tell them Al Levine, the talking machine, said you need your car worked on, or your whatever it is, anything running on gas for sure. And we got to start with Smoking Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And I tell you what, man, I love my white mask. I love my mask the way I love my cake, white.
I know, that's why
Perfect.
I'm
Goes
glad.
with everything.
That's why I got it for you. I know how you are that way.
But I missed you on Sunday. I was at Bill Boyce's house, and I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, Bill Boyce outdid himself this year. We had ribs, we had chicken, we had deer. They called it bison or something. Is that deer?
Venison.
Venison. Yeah, they had a
Glad I
special
could help
name.
you.
They had a special name for it, man.
For years it's been that way, a couple hundred years.
I brought the Dunkin' Donuts. You know the kids like donuts, brother. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, he had everything. He had the corn that you like, right?
Yeah,
That
you
don't
know I
look-
even eat it cold and raw.
Yeah, he had that.
I hated the miss, but my doctor told me to not be around crowds because I have to get a biopsy on my kidney on Friday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm going in at 6 in the morning. They got to take 2 biopsies of the kidney to verify everything's good. It's 1-year anniversary.
Well, everything is good. Why they got to do it?
Well, that's why they're doctors and you're not. So I couldn't make it there because I can't take a chance on getting infected by anybody because whether you believe it or not, 190,000 people died. And you haven't seen them, but they report it. So
Yeah. I don't know anybody, but
that's okay. You don't know much else except football.
That's true.
Let me emphasize this again. You want to know about football? 2 games a day. He'll tell you what cleats a third-string halfback has on in a game. Because if they're green and they're lime green, he'll tell you that he's a great runner. And I've heard it in the boxing ring. Carry on with Bill Boyce. I'm sorry I missed it because I like the plate that I bring home for my son each time. And my son goes, "You going?" I go, "I can't. Can't take a chance." He goes, "Dad, you know I love that food."
That was some good food. But I tell you what, today I made a mistake.
No.
I didn't know until afterwards. I'm driving by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
10-piece dark only for $10.
Let me explain something. Fans interrupt them. My son the other day, we watched a commercial because we watch some TV in these slow times, and Kentucky Fried Chicken come up with that special.
Why didn't you text me?
And he goes, here's what he said. He goes, "Dad, would Smokin' Jim want that?" I go, "He's probably all over that right now." So he missed it, and you heard the truth. But Drew said, "I'll bet Smokin' Jim knows about it."
Tomorrow I will catch it in Monroeville. I tell you what.
Wow.
I seen that in big lights, but I got to Bethel Park early today.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I have a taste for a good salad. So I went to Eaton Park. I want to thank Bree. Bree waited on me, did a great job, man. I got me a grilled chicken salad. It was the Eaton Park chef special. And I tell you what, man, it didn't have as many eggs in it as I wanted. I examined it. They took 1 egg and cut it into 4 pieces.
I got 2 Eaton Parks in Bethel. One's near South Hills Village. It's less than 5 minutes from my house.
I got to try that one next.
And we were at Eaton Park in Washington. We went, you know, how we go to the Cannonsburg and, you know, the boxing and MMA we seen there at South Point. Well, we were on that way. On the right side's Bob Evans, and there's Eaton Park. I went to Eaton Park, and I had their grilled chicken strawberry salad.
Why would you go to Eaton Park when you had other choices?
Well, we wanted to get away from the house and out of the neighborhood. Like, what were you doing in Bethel Park early?
There's a Cracker Barrel out there, fella. You don't pass up a Cracker Barrel for Eaton Park.
I've only been in a Cracker Barrel 2 times in my life.
Pretty good, eh?
They were good. But my Eaton Park salad was delicious with all those strawberries.
They did have one with the strawberries, but I passed on
You
that.
know, I understand that. You don't like strawberries or anything.
I just needed the French fries and the
I'm glad you came to Bethel and spent some of that big money. The big money you got in Bethel Park.
But I tell you what, I was going to bring in a birthday card for Chip. I actually got 100 former Penn Hills high school football players to sign it, but they took up too much space. They all could only sign with an X. So I got to get him a new card. I forgot what I was dealing with. I forgot I was dealing with Penn Hill.
Wow.
But happy belated birthday, Chip. I know you're busy. But hey, the big news of the day, Rod Woodson.
Yeah.
Who's not only in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Who's not only in the All-Century team.
You didn't practice enough. Go ahead, take a breath.
Also in the Pro Football All-Time team.
Yeah.
And if you go back to his college days when he was stealing money out of the tip jar, he's in that Hall of Fame too in Indiana. But Rod Woodson said today on the Mark Madden show, I'll give Mark Madden credit.
Yeah.
I don't listen very often, but I listened today. He said Duck should be the backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I agree with Rod Woodson to a point. I believe Duck should be the starting quarterback. But for a Hall of Famer to say that, and I see it when they signed Joshua Dobbs, they only did it for Black Lives Matter. You know it and I know it. That's the only reason they signed Joshua Dobbs. He got cut by 2 different teams, but the Steelers are going to bring him back. But maybe he can do some work at CMU between practices.
Look at Duck has a good history. He wasn't picked up by anybody but us. When we let him go, nobody picked him up. So he would fit right in again, right?
Well, he's going to be the next superstar of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I got $1 that says he won't. I want to do it on TV. Make sure you get me shown $1.
That's $1 I just gave you.
That's why I'm doing it. $1 that whatever he says about the Duck will
you got the
not
dollar
happen.
upside down. That don't count.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a white Washington.
Yeah. The only one ever. But last but not least, the Pittsburgh Steelers signed their first father and son ever.
Okay.
Remember the kicker, Craig
Yeah,
Colquitt?
Colquitt. Yeah, he was a good punter.
They signed his 38-year-old son, Dustin Colquitt, because they didn't want Big Ben to be the only 38-year-older on the team. And their birthdays are 4 days apart in May.
Is that why they brought him on? So they'll be 39
next
year.
Next year.
Yeah.
2021.
In May.
In May, him and Ben.
Because Ben doesn't plan on quitting.
Ben's 4 days older.
Yeah.
So.
Smoking Jim, thanks for that.
That's what's on my mind.
And I'm glad you and Rod Woodson will be wrong.
Rod knows quarterbacks.
He knows how to tackle them and intercept them. And he knows he'd have a field day with the Duck because that arm can't throw it that far.
Yeah, he do remind me of Kenny Stabler, another Hall of Famer.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not.
I always liked Kenny Stabler.
Loved him.
And he was probably 20 times better naturally than the Duck.
You know he
20.
He went to Al Davis and asked for him to get traded because he never thought he'd play for Oakland. He was behind Darryl LaMonica. He didn't have a big arm like LaMonica.
Right.
And a Mad Bomber. And
well, like Aaron Rodgers, he had to wait his time.
Huh?
Like Aaron Rodgers, he waited his time.
Yeah.
That happens in football.
Yeah, Duck's waiting his time now.
Well, he's going to be waiting it from way back, just way back. But thanks, Smoking Jim. I appreciate your insights, plus your extra insights, and we'll try to figure out what's next. All right, what's on my mind? I don't know. I mean, I'm disappointed with the Pirates. 13 wins, 26 losses. If you add that up, that's 39 games out of 60? That means you can do math. Wait, he's from Gateway. He can't. That's 21 games to go.
Okay.
So we're not going to have a good team this year.
Wow.
As was predicted. We're in a rebuilding phase. So it's tough to watch their games, even when they won a couple. You know, it's been difficult because, like Smoking Jim said, where's their pitching? And they don't have much of it. Where's the relief pitching? They still don't have much, and we've done 39 games. Now, I'm a fan of the Pirates, unlike you, who was never a fan of the Pirates. And if you played baseball, I just want you to give me one of your teammates. Just one, folks. That's all I want. One teammate with a last name.
I can do that.
Okay, who's that?
I'm pretty sure there's a Robbie on the team.
I have Caitlin here. I don't want to insult her intelligence and ask if she heard me ask one player with a last name.
He didn't have his name. We didn't have names on the back of our jerseys this. I only knew first name. Robbie.
No, I didn't have any Robbies on my team.
Huh?
I didn't have any Robbies.
Wow. I used to steal bases like Lou Brock.
Well, the only way that I know you would steal them is when they wanted to play a game. You would steal their bases so they had to play football with you in the neighborhood.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Well, luckily I know you. I don't know him for 20 years or 30 years. I know him for a little over 9 years, and that's what I know about him. And anybody keeps telling me they're an honest man and talks like that, I wonder. But that's what's on my mind. It's tough in the baseball season. It was very tough with the Penguin season. I'm looking forward to the Steelers season, and we'll talk more about that later on at the end of the show. So I'm excited about that, even though I haven't got many reports. But we'll talk to Smokin' Jim later, and hopefully he tells me the truth instead of the nonsense. I have the dollar bet that Duck doesn't make it like he says. And he wasn't as good as he said he was. Because I watched the games, every one of them, and I'm still confused. But we'll be back with some fiction and fact from Smokin' Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. We got Special K in the house, and we got my main man Anthony on the ones and twos, making us look good. But I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine,
What?
I'm going to go back to 1996, before you were born, Caitlin. 1996, in honor of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, okay.
The Pittsburgh
We try
Steelers,
not to be political here, so.
the Pittsburgh Steelers went to an all-black school, North Carolina A&T, and got the laziest black man they could find and drafted him in the first round, Jermaine Stevens. Now, my draft report didn't have Jermaine Stevens rated very high.
Right.
Even though he was 6'6", 330 pounds, and it didn't bother me that he played at a small school.
Right.
What bothered me was
Well, he was a big man at a small school. Would you say that?
He was a giant,
Okay.
especially in 1996.
Well, no, you got to. We found out with our friend Mike Shook, you're a giant if you're 6'8".
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because he criticized. I
Yeah.
said he was 6'7",
Yeah,
but he's 6'8".
he's 6'8". But the reason I didn't have him high in my draft report was because I knew his heart was on defense. He played defense all his life, but they got a new coaching staff his senior year.
Yeah.
Now, his ability and speed and agility was above average for a defensive lineman.
Okay.
The coach moved him to offensive line. For an offensive lineman, his agility and stats and measurables was off the roof. You know, 6'6", 330 pounds.
He was made for it.
He was light on his feet. Pittsburgh Steelers drafted him in the first round. Had no desire to really play offense, to learn offense. It was a guy that couldn't even walk 10, 40-yard dashes.
Well, don't even talk about walking with you,
Yeah.
please.
But since then,
Yeah.
I got to be friends with his son. His son put out a video a couple of months ago, had some of the best hands you ever wanted to see.
His son.
Now, the son couldn't run because his son's like 6 foot, like almost 400 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Probably down to like 350. Played at my alma mater, Cal State.
Yeah.
Would have been a senior this year, and I was telling him because he was a smart kid.
Yeah. Stay in school.
I told him to get his master's degree because
Yeah.
he has he's not a starter. He might have started this year coming up as a senior.
What happened?
They're not playing ball. But I told him,
Didn't you talk to them to try to change that?
but I mean, we've been really tough. I seen him do some things on the basketball court. He's like a point guard on basketball court. He's unbelievable. I mean, he can shoot, he can dribble. I seen him break ankles. But the catches that he was making, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, other than Chris Carter, I never seen hands like that.
Wow.
You know, one hand catches was awesome.
That's our NFL scout, folks.
So
What happened?
nice kid, got to be friends. Like I said, this would have been his senior year. I told him to go ahead, come back another year, get your master's degree. They'll pay for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's on scholarship. And
Do they pay for a master's?
today I just found out he passed away.
What?
21 years old. And everybody that knew the kid had nothing but good things to say about him. He's a two-time WPIAL champion from a Catholic school in Oakland. And
That's so sad.
yeah, and just a great kid. I'm not sure if I never got a chance to ask him if him and his dad ever had a relationship,
Right.
you know, together. But he was named after his father. and he was on his way to not only getting his business degree, but getting his master's degree.
At Cal U. I thought that's shocking. You don't get a degree.
I sure didn't. They made up a degree for me, general studies. I'm the first and last, brother. They put some things together.
Wow.
But I did learn some archery. I took an archery class, a bowling class.
Well, I heard you know basket. I heard you know basket weaving.
Yeah, that was too tough. I had to drop that one, brother. You actually had to do some work in that.
You had to have you probably had a hole at the bottom of it. You said, "Look how pretty this looks."
But that's it. Rest in peace, man.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Smoking Jim Frazier. Thanks for not changing that dial after you heard Smoking Jim and laughed out of your seat. So thanks for watching. He's one of a kind. He can tell a story, and it's sad for that young man. And I don't know where the Black Lives Matter came into it, but I understand Smoking Jim's trying to be popular. So we'll just ignore that, and we'll try to stay out of the politics of this. These are trying times, and we're trying to be entertaining. We know we tend to be that way, but we try to provide information for you that's pretty good and reliable, and Smoking Jim just did that, so I appreciate that. On location, like I told you, we're limited because of the limits in the bars and restaurants, and Olive Oil's Pizzeria in Brookline closed down. So that location's out. So we're looking for another place somewhere when we get a break from COVID or whatever would happen where the country could open up again, and maybe still with masks and social distancing. If we could have more people in there, then we could possibly do shows around here if they open up more, and other places too, because we'd like to. But we're still waiting out for the second or third week of October with Zhang Taekwondo in Wexford. He's, like I told you last week, he's working on getting guests from around the country to come in, maybe even some sword exhibitions, because they do all that stuff, so that could be some fun. And they got trophies all over the place there. Smoking Jim, when we go there, you'll be amazed how many trophies his students and himself have won. Wow. Just a great guy, and doing great things in the community with keeping kids out of trouble and teaching them something that they learn, and they compete. And guess what? They do what Smoking Jim favors. They win. So that's what counts. So we're looking for future locations. Just stay tuned, and we'll update you each week like this. And we're going to come back, and we're going to have a discussion on Steelers and more. See you. Don't change that dial. Welcome back. Let's talk about Steelers. I told you I was excited. I don't want to hear about the duck. I want to hear about the players we got on our team. Like, one thing I want to bring up to Smoking Jim, Big Ben has control of the team. He was off for a year. How did they let go one of his favorite guys who wasn't very good here, but Ben loved, Ryan Switzer?
I was very disappointed.
You had to be, because you love Big Ben, even though you want to get rid of him because he's too old.
Well, I was very disappointed that they got rid of Ryan Switzer, hard-working guy, but more importantly, got one of the most beautiful wives
Understands.
in the world, and that's always great to have.
Hold it. That's great in your mind.
Man.
In mine, I could care less about it, because they hired him to return the ball. He had to be one of the worst returners that we've had in the last 20 years, because he didn't return the ball very often.
But here's what I look for.
In my eyes.
Edelman wasn't a returner either, but Edelman was a great slot receiver, and I thought that Ryan Switzer could have came into his own this year with Ben throwing the ball to him in that slot position. I think the Steelers made a mistake.
Well, just like the Duck, they made a mistake too. So you got two mistakes that they've made. How are you going to overcome it? What do they need to do this year to be a winning team? Because they're all predicting we could go to the Super Bowl.
Well, they've been predicting that for the last 20 years. But
well, I'm just saying, since Tomlin's last time, what's it, 11 years ago?
The Steelers blew it again. They got a great opportunity because they got everybody back.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming back. Everybody's all in. I thought they should have went after Leonard Fournette. They didn't do that. They were stubborn. But for them to pay Cam Hayward an average defensive end, $17 million a year.
Yeah.
They just signed him to a long-term
5 years.
contract. Yeah, well, it's actually 4 years.
Well, till 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're counting this year as the 5th year. But he got a 4-year, $65 million contract, and according to my math, that's about $17 million a year. And I tell you what, you got T.J. Watt, congratulations, who got named team captain, the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's the star. I would have gave some of that money to Bud Dupree.
No
I
way.
think your linebacker-driven team. Mika Fitzpatrick is the best safety in the NFL. Rod Woodson, that's another comment he made. He said Mika Fitzpatrick is the best free safety in the National Football League. I agree.
Wow.
To pay Cam Hayward that, what are you going to do next year? Instead of paying T.J. Watt, you're going to pay Tuitt? Because Tuitt is coming back now. So what do you
Here's
you
what you
prioritize.
do. You let Dupree go. They'll have money because of that. And you let Tuitt go because most of the time he looks like Tarzan and plays like Jane.
I agree with that.
Well, you taught me that. So I'm just jumping on your bandwagon when you're right, but you're wrong about some of this other stuff.
But Dupree, I wouldn't
I was
let that go.
shocked with Cam Hayward getting a 5-year contract for that amount of money.
Yeah, I was shocked. I
and
thought
just
the
to
Steelers
tell you,
smartened up.
if you thought it was $17 million a year, do $17 million, $17 million's 34, and then do it again. That'd be $68 million. I mean, I'm doing simple math.
Maybe I'm a little off on my math.
Well, that's why.
I'm a little off.
Just divide. I'll get the calculator out
But you
for
know,
you.
I don't like Cam Hayward for a couple reasons. Number one, he backstabbed Gateway High School. He grew up in Monroeville, and he left like a thief in the night.
Here's how much it is: $16.25 million.
That ain't bad. I was close. So he left like a thief in the night
Who
and
did?
left Monroeville to move with his family to Atlanta
Yeah.
and play high school ball in Atlanta. So not only did he rob Gateway, who we groomed him, I mean, his dad had a little bit to do with it with the DNA, former professional football.
Yeah.
His dad played at Pitt.
Okay.
He didn't even give Pitt an opportunity. He went right to Ohio State. Now, because he's doing commercials with the lawyer.
Edgar Snyder.
Now he's doing that.
We get money for you.
Now we're supposed to
get money
forget
for
all
you.
that. Now he's a Pittsburgher all of a sudden. But, hey, I'll never forgive him for backstabbing Gateway. We could have had even more championships with that guy. But, hey, here's the problem. You know, David DeCastro, who knows, there's nobody in the media with enough guts and intestinal fortitude to report what's wrong with David DeCastro. They already they already scratched him as being out for the opener. He hasn't practiced one time all training camp.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh Steelers now is coming out with a 38-year-old quarterback.
Okay.
Their best quarterback on the team is fourth string, the Duck.
Yeah.
Now, if Big Ben, he's going to have 3 new offensive linemen starting that didn't start last year.
Right.
You know, Pouncey's always
Hold it.
injured.
How big is Big Ben? How big is he? 6'4",
He's big boy.
230,
He get 30 and on 38-year-old bone.
and he's bigger than most linemen.
Yes.
So he'll still do what he started out doing.
But here's the problem. They got overweight lover Heavy Z,
Yeah.
Zach Banner, 6'8", 340 pounds, closer to 400 pounds. He was 400 pounds at one time.
Yeah.
He's going to be your starting right guard. I think that's a joke.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt beats him in practice, and he ain't even trying.
Really?
T.J. Watt goes half speed and beats him in practice.
You mean he swims right by him?
Everybody. Anybody with quick feet, there's quick guys and defensive ends and
Yeah.
outside line. Their biggest going to get killed. So now you got 2 outstanding tight ends. They're going to have to stay in and help block
Yeah.
because this guy
Can't do it.
can't do it. And they love him. The Steelers love him.
Well, look at their coach. He's the coffee boy.
He's a
the
coffee
coach.
boy.
So why wouldn't they love him? He loves them. He don't have
So-
to do anything. Go out and play.
So I'm worried for the future because
Well, the future's now. What
You
about
just-
this year?
you just killed your future. You already had Cam Hayward. He had to play this year.
Yeah.
$9 million wasn't too bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? We weren't going to have him. We weren't going to have to do a GoFundMe account for him with $9 million.
I think they did anyhow.
Yeah. So now you mortgage the future, paying this guy. In my opinion, he only has 397 tackles in 9 years. You know what I mean? He only has 54 sacks in 9 years.
He had 9 sacks last year.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was
pretty good.
For a lineman.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But we're
thanks for agreeing with that.
But we're outside linebacker-driven team.
Yeah.
And we got 2 great outside linebackers, and they're going to let Bud Dupree go. That's Bud Dupree's money.
I might agree with one great outside linebacker.
The greatest in Pittsburgh Steelers history.
Not yet. He's working on it.
In my opinion.
Well, you've said it since the day he got here. And how many times have you been wrong, Doc? Doc's not even playing this year. And so he's 4th string in your book. Okay. He's not playing. What I think they should have done is let Cam play this year for what he is and be done with him. Dupree, same thing, be done with him, and give the other guys the money like Minka and TJ deserve.
But Dupree is 6 foot.
Because they can actually rebuild. If Ben doesn't lead them to a Super Bowl this year or next year, how many more years will Ben play? What's your prediction on that?
Well, my prediction is...
He'll play into his 40s like Tom Brady?
Well, my prediction is what I predicted they should do
Get rid of him.
Before the season was the Ben era was over for me. The Duck era started.
Yeah.
And they didn't listen.
Well,
they stubborn.
Duck's over and Ben's still here.
Can you imagine Duck's making no money?
Yeah.
They can't pay Duck for the next 4 years any money.
Right.
Look how you can rebuild a team. Ben is making, how much has Ben making? $40 million a year?
I think 38.
38 to $40 million a year?
Yeah.
They could have used all that money to rebuild their team.
Well, he's going to be here next year too.
Yeah, with all that draining that money. Him and Cam draining money.
Yeah. That's about $54 million with both of them.
And the cap is going down next year to $175 million because people like you won't pay pay-per-view. NFL's losing money because you are stubborn and won't pay pay-per-view. Me and Special K will play it. Me and Anthony will pay it. $5 a weekend.
Excuse me. I might be a little behind with COVID here because I'm on my 17th book, so I'm not paying attention to football. But when, and I'll say it slow for you, when did the NFL go to pay-per-view?
They haven't because they...
Okay, thank you. I rest my case.
Because people like you, they know won't pay.
Thank you.
You got to pay your fair share. This is America.
Let me ask you again.
You want everything free?
No. If you're buying, I want it free. That's all. Best meals I've had, if you buy, they're free. But no, I got to disagree with you. They don't have to go. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. How many billions will they make with the TV with the season? That's why they're bullies. They got all these tests. They're not telling you who has COVID. 7% of the players had COVID. Some want to opt out and not play. You're ignoring that. And you can't have fans. Look at Cleveland. They said, we'll have 6,000 people in the stands. Now, if Cleveland got $300 million from normal ticket sales, or say $250 million, 6,000 fans is probably 1/10 of that. So they're willing to lose $200 million by having 6,000 fans. That's idiotic.
Can I give you a stat that
Where'd you get it?
I called New York, NFL offices today, so I'll be prepared for the show.
Who'd you talk to?
I talked to an official.
What was his name?
They asked me not to give the name.
Well, give me his initials.
I won't be able to do that. But I gave my word on that. So
you've never kept it before. This is a first.
This is my first. They said they tested 8,000 players and employees in the National Football League.
Okay.
One person tested positive for COVID.
Okay.
NFL knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Good.
So after the second game of the season, I'm hoping that they'll allow fans back in the stadium because with the Steelers shrinking, if they shrink that salary cap next year to $175 million, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be in trouble because they're hamstrung with a old quarterback, in a mediocre defensive end that left Monroeville, snuck out of Monroeville as a kid.
Well, the NFL can say everybody's healthy, and I hope they're right, but we have another problem. It's called the governors of the state. If they don't allow more than 250 people in a stadium, then each month you'll have no fans. So the NFL can do a great job, and I hope they do, because they're not in the bubble.
One person out of 8,000.
Well, all they need is more people like you that don't even believe it, so you'll get your bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and you'll be glad if you have a mask or you don't. Now you'll show off your Pittsburgh Sportsline mask. That's why I got it, so you can show that off.
Ain't that good? 1 out of 8,000? You can't beat that. Where they do that at?
That's good.
Hey, where they do that at? That's great.
No, that's great.
They know what they're doing.
Whatever they say, they bought all these tests.
East Central.
Who knows how accurate these tests even are? Because if they're instant tests, they've had a 50% rate of accuracy and others like that. So when the NFL, all they care about is money. And you know that. They're a multi-billion-dollar nonprofit sitting on billions of dollars in cash. So they bought all the tests that they could buy. Who knows how reliable they are?
And there's 330 million Americans that can't wait to start watching it.
You're off a little bit. You're off by about 100 million. Because they like going to the movies, theater, shopping.
They tape it
on Sundays.
They tape
No, they
it.
don't. They don't
DVR.
even want to see it.
Does they call them DVR?
No, you don't even know, so they don't know. It's not even true. So what do you think the Steelers will be like this year?
Well,
in your honest opinion, because in another week they're starting Thursday. So.
Well, I'm a little worried about the first game because there's no football conditioning. That first game now, you're going out there playing for 60 minutes without no preseason, without any game experience. So some of these big boys could tire out. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Do we have a second team that could come out?
Yeah, they do, but I don't think they was doing a good job of getting them ready. Although Duck's been torturing the first team with the scout team, but
oh, good.
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers with a great defense, Big Ben calling his own plays, passing for 5,000 yards.
Well, who's the offensive coordinator? He's going to let him do what he wants.
Yeah, Randy Fichtner let Ben do what he wants. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers got a good chance. Now, Baltimore is a dynasty. So if Baltimore going to stay healthy, it's going to be hard for the Steelers to beat them out.
What playoff game has Lamar Jackson ever won? Has he
won
one?
He hasn't won any.
Thank you.
But
he's the MVP.
But he was 14-2 in regular season.
Well, how's that work out?
0-2 in playoffs.
Some people would say that's choking.
Yeah, but
some would say that. Like you grew up, and if somebody won in the season and then they lost the first playoff game or any playoffs they were in, you call them losers.
Yeah.
What changed now? Just because you're older that we don't know your age,
no,
what changed your attitude about that?
No, I was just
if you don't compete in the playoffs.
No, I was just answering your question how far the Steelers will do. I don't think that they'll have a better record in the regular season than Baltimore, which means they'll have to play a wild card game, which is an extra game in the playoffs. But I think the Steelers have a team that is Super Bowl ready. But if the Kansas City Chiefs play anywhere near the way they played the last 2 years, the Steelers can't beat them.
Right.
The Steelers can't beat Baltimore because Baltimore played all their backups and the Steelers still couldn't stop their running game. Steelers a little soft in the middle with Devin Bush.
Are they?
And
I
real
thought
soft.
he led the team with 109 tackles.
Yeah, he piled on. Dump truck, Devin Bush piling on.
I didn't see it. I watched the games.
Name one big hit.
He wasn't piling on.
Name one big hit.
I can't.
Even in college. He played at Michigan. Can you name one?
No, I can't.
He's never had opposing teams paint of their helmet on his helmet. Remember how when we played, we swapped paint?
Yeah.
He's never swapped paint.
Wow.
And never will.
Well, he's taught not to hit helmet to helmet like you and I were taught.
He's taught very well.
Yeah, he's practicing it.
Yeah.
He'll have a long career.
Yeah.
So, are we going to be better than 8-8?
Yes.
What do you think?
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will make the playoffs, which means at least 10 wins. 10, 11 wins. Big Ben knows how to win.
Yeah.
So if Big Ben stays healthy, we got 2 quarterbacks on the team that knows how to win, Big Ben and Duck. Both got career-winning records.
What division was the Duck in? Who drafted him?
Huh?
How come nobody drafted him? Because he's like Kenny Stabler.
Well, you like Bart Starr. You grew up a
Yeah.
Green Bay Packer
Yeah.
fan. Bart Starr was an 18th round draft choice.
That's
and
not
he played
bad.
at Alabama.
That's not bad.
So the Duck, people make mistakes. Duck broke Aaron McNair's all-time records,
Right.
college records.
Understand.
They thought that record was unbreakable. 14,000 passing yards in 4 years? Where'd they do
15,000.
that
I
at?
thought he had 15,000.
15, round that
Yeah.
up. Round
16.
that up. Yeah.
How do you know about rounding up when you can't even do division? Come on. 16.25. Oh, 17. That's close. No, but Duck didn't prove it. He only was 3-3.
4-3.
3-3.
I count that Cincinnati
I don't
game.
count that game. 3-3. That's it. No, he got to show me more than that, and he can't do it on the practice squad for me because he's not going to get in this year.
Well, he'll get a lot of practice torching the Steelers' first.
Well,
string
that'll
defense.
help the defense out.
Huh?
That'll help the defense.
They ain't stopped the Duck all training camp. He's been torching them. He's been a surprise at training camp.
Who's catching the ball for him? Tell me somebody catching
It
the ball.
don't matter. He puts it there
That's what
so
I thought.
soft.
When you ask the man for facts, why do you think I give him a straight answer and he comes around beating the bush with all this crazy stuff?
Woo! He put it there so soft anybody can catch it.
Did you even see any of that? You never even saw him play.
No, because of with COVID.
Yeah.
And
And you don't go to the training camps anyhow.
Yeah, they're limiting the media, so there's no sense of me going
You
there.
limited yourself before.
Yeah.
You
so-
never saw the
And
preseason.
there's no free meals.
Well, that's why you're not
So-
going. You never met a steak you didn't like.
I know. I got the brothers cooking for me down there, brother.
Wow. Wow.
Steak and eggs.
Good. No, you're
Yeah.
eating good. Well, you gave your prediction. It was hard to get it out of you, buddy.
Do you agree?
I think 10, 11 games is possible if the 3 tendons that they sewed up are good. And
30.
everybody seems to say he's going to do better than he did when he had 5,200 yards.
Everybody's saying that, huh?
That's what they're all saying. You're the only one not. You said we should have got rid of him.
Yeah. 38 years old, it's time. If Tom Brady can move on, Ben can move on.
You know, to me, another team.
Yeah, move on.
Okay.
Make room for the Duck.
You love Big Ben. How come
Yeah,
you love
yeah,
the Duck because you
yeah.
think he can have a beer with somebody?
yeah.
You don't even drink beer.
I love Terry Bradshaw too, but I mean, you can't love him forever.
Well, you know why? His arm went bad.
Yeah, so did Ben's.
Well, they healed it now.
So they say.
Unlike you, he went to a doctor that did surgery that helped him. Maybe you need some of that. This is off the air stuff. I'm just bringing it on there. See a doctor. Get a better doctor.
They don't come better than Dr. Levine.
Oh, I understand that. Thank you. My cousin. Thank you. Glad you got a good one. What baseball are you watching? You watching any baseball?
No, but I did watch my first NBA game.
What'd you think?
Well, I turned it on.
Yeah.
And the Lakers was up by 21.
Right.
And then I did what I always do, turned it back on at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
It was tied up.
Nice.
All you got to do is watch. So I watched the last 2 minutes, and the Lakers beat Houston.
Right.
And it looked pretty good in the bubble. And,
Yeah.
you know, with all the fake fans and all the
virtual
virtual fans.
I knew you'd like the fans with the virtual fans
Yeah, I
like
like that.
Because you think they should all pay $1 to go to the game to be on TV.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. At least $5. Yeah.
$5.
You're being on TV. Heck yeah. Being on TV. Yeah.
Well, we're on TV.
Huh?
We're not getting paid.
No, we're hosting the show.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I got you.
But, hey, you know, people, they're used to paid attendance.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite sport, everybody knows, is professional wrestling.
Right.
I watched it last night, Raw.
Oh, was it?
And, oh, man, it was awesome. Awesome.
Who's your favorite now? I don't even follow it. Who's your favorite?
Well-
or who'd you like last night?
Well, my all-time favorite wrestler
Yeah.
is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
That's my all-time favorite wrestler. So, I mean, I like them all.
Yeah.
But I got to say probably Lashley.
This is for our wrestling fans. Smoking
Yeah.
Jim's going to announce it.
Yeah, Lashley is my favorite wrestler right now. Because he married this beautiful Russian girl. Now, I may have to let him go because they're on outs right now. Yeah, man.
Smoking Jim, I'm trying to focus you.
Bobby Lashley!
I'm trying to focus you on a sport and how they perform, not who they're married to.
Oh man,
or who their girlfriend is.
She's worth tuning into, but now they're in.
Well, why don't you post her up as one of your Steel City beauties?
Because she's not from Pittsburgh. You got to be from the Burgh, man. Yeah, there is no shortage of beautiful women in southwestern Pennsylvania. Look at Special K.
How did she get into this?
She's southwestern Pennsylvania beauty.
Nice, thank you, Smoking Jim.
And smart.
Right. I know she got you beat because she's questioning your math.
Well,
she realized that.
I didn't have a calculator.
She realizes now.
I carried the one.
No. I'll clarify it. He rounded up. He rounded up, folks, because he didn't even know what it was, but it was 68 million, not 65 million, so he gave $3 extra million. If he were an owner, he'd be squeezing those nickels. He wouldn't have done that, but no, because just follow Smoking Jim on Facebook. About 3-4 years ago, he started putting up 1, 2, 3 pics a day of beautiful women every day. Some were with him, and now he trolls their pages and gets their most beautiful pictures. When we were doing our live show to Smoking Jim, you're the best. You're such a nice guy. And he has 2 rooms filled with pictures.
Autograph.
I know, autographed, definitely. Unbelievable, buddy. I don't know how you do it each day. We're winding down. Any other sports talk you want to provide for our fans out here to entertain them?
Well, we all know that college football made a mistake. The Big Ten and the Pac-10, said they weren't going to play football. Of course, the president came out and told them they better play football. But college football's healthy, live and well, ready to go. The NFL's ready to go. The NFL knows these guys is in such great shape. They know how to battle COVID. They know what they're doing. There's vaccines out there in Russia. I think the NFL might have tapped into that.
No, they won't. Putin won't let them have their vaccines.
Putin likes football.
No, but he wants to keep them himself. You don't know how the Russians are.
Why?
You don't even know who he is.
I know he's Russian.
Okay, that's all you know. You don't know he was KGB, and you don't know how he's skimmed off millions of dollars.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know how he might be a billionaire from just stealing money from the people. You didn't know he gets 100% of the votes when they have an election. You didn't know that because you don't vote in elections, so you don't care.
I vote.
When? Tell me the last time you voted. Here we go, folks. 2 minutes to go. Tell me the last time you voted.
I vote every time, every chance I
get. There is no way. That Pinocchio nose is coming out of your mask. I voted in the primary, and I'll vote again for the election.
I think I'm a mail in. Can I mail in my vote?
You got to register. You have to register. Smoking Jim, I rest my case. He does not vote. He loves everybody until he doesn't. That's how simple he is. So we'll see what happens. Maybe someday he'll vote, but as long as I've known him for 9 years, never, ever heard him say he voted. And I always tell people on election night, you got to get out and vote before the end of our show.
I get a little receipt ticket.
When's the last time? I can't entertain you anymore, folks. I'm not getting the truth here. And he's a truth sayer. I'm still looking forward to it. No, but keep watching sports. I mean, it's not that fun. I've watched a few hockey games, and there's some good play out there. And, you know, the Vegas Knights might be in it. Who knows? Fleury played the other night.
24 out of 25 shots he stopped.
Yeah, so you know that. He knows who his favorites are.
Yeah.
And you can tell, folks, by watching that. You watching any Korean baseball or
You
you
know
give
what?
up on it?
I haven't seen it in a while, but I miss it.
Well, you don't miss it enough to watch it. So keep watching Gunsmoke. That's all. You can watch those Gunsmoke. You got to watch a little Bonanza. Watch Gomer Pyle. Get those oldie shows. I'm watching $6 Million Man in the morning.
Is that on?
11 o'clock on Me TV. TV.
I got to check that out.
Check that out, whatever you have there. But yeah, we're winding down, folks. Hopefully we entertained you. That's what our mission is, to provide some levity here. Maybe a little too much tonight, but Smoking Jim's on fire. He's only telling us the truth, so we appreciate that. Thanks, Smoking Jim. Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks, Anthony. And glad we could be here. Stay tuned for next week. We'll have some more for you, and we'll have some more fun. And stay safe and healthy, and please stay Joey strong.